here is a preview of what we are making this week with a special guest. Hello everybody, welcome back to Flower Club, Christmas edition. You might be wondering, who's that? I'll let Dee introduce herself.
Hello, I'm Dee. I'm senior florist here at Fig and Bloom. I have been a florist for over 20 years, so I like to think I've got enough experience to show you today's wonderful tutorial.
That was perfect.
Good.
Good on you. We have something a little bit more technical today, hence why I brought in some backup. So let's dive in. Merry Christmas. We have a wreath. We're wreath making today. So we'll have beautiful gold rattan wreath with big bunch of gum.
Lovely bit of Australiana in today's wreath.
Beautiful. Gorgeous velvet ribbon. Stunning. And also a little spoolie of wire, or you might be getting, or they might come in little pieces like this. It's really same. One's rolled up, one's straight.
Yeah,
no.
We'll show you both methods as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone will be across it.
Alrighty. So Dee, take us through how we prep.
Yeah, so prep-wise, I think preparing your gum first is probably the best thing to do. What we're going to be doing is essentially making little tufts of gum that we will be attaching to the wreath. So what we'll want to do is clean up your gum. So break open your bunches, pulling out any sort of yucky old pieces off because we want to use the lovely fresh stuff. Pieces like this, they'll be perfect to use. They're small, they'll gather together quite well. Bits like this, just cut them all off into smaller pieces. You should have heaps. You're receiving a whole bunch of gum, so I would say you're going to have more than enough to make a really nice full wreath. So working into smaller pieces is going to be far easier. Discard little bits like this.
It's so noisy compared to yours.
Yeah. Yeah, nice sharp snips will be good as well. So even pieces like this, you know, you've got a nice little tuft with multiple stems on the one. Pieces like that are great because that'll go onto the wreath really nicely as well. So gather up your pieces. At this stage, you don't have to be too pedantic about how clean your stems are, because you're really going to be, as I said, bunching them together. So just little pieces. I'd probably start with doing half a bunch and then see how you go. You can always cut more if you want or if you need.
And how is this wreath going to look in a few weeks' time?
So what will happen is once you've hung it, obviously it's not going to be in water, so it's going to dry. So hopefully it will dry really nicely just on your front door or wherever you decide to hang it. So it will go quite crunchy. Don't be afraid of that. That's fine. Just try not to overhandle it because it will become quite brittle, because obviously it will lose moisture and it will be very delicate. So the least amount of handling possible. Hang it and leave it.
Hang it and leave it.
You can also place it in the center of your table. It could become a centerpiece if you're wanting, which, you know, maybe you could just put a ribbon, just the ribbon on like a big nice bow, maybe on either side. You'll be receiving quite a lot of ribbon, so feel free to get creative with your bows. If you're making it a centerpiece, maybe don't put the hanging ribbon part on the top, but totally up to you. Place it in the center of your table, nice little candle in the middle, a few candles, beautiful Christmas table center.
And this is going to be a good one to sit in front of the TV and do.
Yeah.
It's going to be a nice, it's nice and relaxing doing a bit of wiring.
Allow yourself a nice amount of time.
Put on a Christmas movie. The Family Stone, my favorite.
Oh yes, Love Actually, a nice classic. Get the kids involved. Family activity.
Family activity.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
So
all
next,
of our little pieces.
Next, get your wire and your wreath base, obviously. So you can see it's a nice sort of rustic sort of feel to our wreath. Some of them will be quite eclectic.
It's got
with
something going on there.
You know, use that. I mean, it's going to be quite puffy. So once we get some foliage on there, it will be quite puffy. But, you know, things like this, like it's bringing a little bit of interest, bit of character, bit of gold festive cheer coming through. So yeah, don't be afraid to like, you know, highlight these nice elements as well, because it's a beautiful base that you'll be receiving. So what we'll be doing is grabbing your small pieces like this. Don't be afraid to use that nice whimsical shape that's coming out. That can be quite a feature when you're placing it on your wreath. Use some nice long pieces like that. Don't keep it all really short.
Big and bushy.
Big and bushy. So what we're doing is we're placing 2 or 3 pieces together like so, making a nice little tuft. And what you'll do is you'll grab your wire and you'll place it and wrap it around your little tuft there.
Just going round in a circle?
To hold it all together, just like so.
Did you go through?
No, just simply around it. So what I've done is I've held it to the wire to the stems, and I've literally just wound it around. Keep it relatively tight. It doesn't have to be crazy tight, but tight enough so it keeps it together, like so. Tuft. Beautiful. And you can probably trim off some of your excess stems here as well. And then what we're going to do, if you want to hang your wreath, we're going to make a little hook so you can hang it.
We'll do it first so the gum doesn't get in the way.
Yeah, we'll do it first. So so it's there and you don't have to then go back and do it. So depending on how big you want it, like how far, if you want to make this quite a feature, you can have it quite long.
Probably measure against your door if you have
like how you're gonna hang it on your door or wherever you're gonna hang it. If you've got like a nice picture hook at home and you want to hang it from that. So I would probably, you know, give it a decent little amount there. So I would actually try and find a nice part of your wreath and tie it just so it doesn't move around too much. So give it a knot here. I'd knot it here. Like so, just a simple knot. And then you can bring it up like so. And then I would probably just do a simple around the fingers through. So we've got something. The wreath was make it look nice and pretty up the top.
Cool.
Like so.
Phase 1 complete. Phase 1.
Like
all
so.
right.
So what we're going to do, you're going to work around your wreath. So we'll start, obviously, whichever way you want to go, anti or clockwise.
And going to be
everything's going to be facing the same way. So whether you want to go anti-clockwise or you want to go clockwise with your little tuft. So I'm going to have them facing this way, going clockwise, but I'm going to work anti-clockwise to make it confusing for everyone. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to hold our pieces to the wreath. Just hold it on with your fingers, and then we're literally just going to go around the wreath like so. So curving towards,
Oh, like that.
Yeah, and so then we're going to work.
Is that better so that the stems aren't?
When we get all the way around, you shouldn't see any working.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm going to do it.
So place it.
Oh my gosh.
So hold your wire to your stem, spin it around, leaving plenty of wire at the end, because what we're going to do, place it on your wreath base and spin the wire around, making sure it's relatively tight, and then just spin the wire, twist it, and it will hold on like so.
So you got to kind of leave two loose ends that you can then
two loose ends,
like a bread tie together.
like a bread tie.
Got it. Fabulous. Rinse and repeat.
Yes, and then so we're going to work all the way around our wreath. So creating little pieces all together.
And is there a general rule for how much of the gum stem should be left?
Yeah, look, you're not going to see it. So just give yourself enough to be able to hold on to. So basically,
so like a pinch's worth.
A pinch. And then, allow yourself enough stem so you have enough to hold on to and to work with, because you can always trim it afterwards. So try and give yourself enough stem to work with, and then you can trim it. So you can also, up to you how full you want to make your wreath as well. If you've got plenty of gum to work with, so try and, obviously we want to make it go all the way around, but you can make your bunches quite full, not too full. I wouldn't go crazy with your but you know, make it quite nice and full, and that way you're going to get a nice full wreath. You know, if you're liking a more sparse look, so you can actually see a nice gold frame, you can do that as well. And so what we're actually going to do now is place your next one on top of the other one, so hiding the working of the top piece. And again, repeat, and we're just going to go around attaching.
We're going to go round and round and round.
Yep, repeat.
And another good thing about this, Dee, I was just having a think as we were wiring, is that anyone at home, if you have baubles or other little, you know, Christmassy things or other dried flowers that you want to just add in,
Yeah,
you can definitely kind of make it your own.
yes. Pine cones.
Pine cones.
If you want to try and wire in some pine cones, something like that.
If you were here last week, the straw flower heads, they make a really beautiful addition to a wreath. So
if you're going to wire in some flowers or some baubles, I would use the same method. Maybe have a think about where you want to place them, and weight distribution as well. So if you're hanging your wreath, if you're placing too many things over here, it may get a little lopsided. So maybe at the bottom, or if they're nice and light, which a lot of baubles are, you can place them wherever. But yeah, wire them in.
And would you wire them while you're
You could
doing
do
your
it.
gum, or would you do
Yeah.
your gum base first?
Look, you could do either or. Just bear in mind that when you've got a full wreath, it will get a little bit trickier to wire them in. So you could do them as you're working through. Might be a little bit easier, and then you can have access to the actual base just freely like this, so you can wire them in and then place your gum around it.
So you'd basically like gum, 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 bauble, gum, 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 gum.
Yeah,
As you go.
and
Yeah.
work your bauble sort of in and around. Pieces like this as well, you can actually just sort of trim here halfway down, and you'll sort of get 2 in 1. So a nice little, you know, eucalyptusy gum bit that you can put at the front for a little bit more volume.
And for reference, these pieces of wire that we're using are 45 centimeters long. So if you are cutting from spool, about 45 centimeters is what we're using, and it works well.
Your hands will smell amazing after this because of the eucalyptus oil that will be on your hands because of the gum stripping. It may also be a bit sticky.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you might need to give your hands a nice scrub afterwards. Beautiful.
This is where I'm at so far. I'm kind of finding the best way to do it is just chuck it on. Don't think too much.
Yeah.
You can always trim later, give it a little bit of a haircut if needed.
Yeah. So I've gone with more of a sparse sort of look, so you can see the wreath base through it. But it's totally up to you what you want to do.
I like a fuller wreath, me personally.
Yes.
Do what feels natural.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
I need some more gum.
If you've got some nice herbs as well from your garden, rosemary would work really well. So you could do the same thing, cut some little sprigs, place them in a little bunch, and wire them on.
That'd be gorge.
Bring a nice little element as well.
Smell amazing.
Yeah, it would be absolutely beautiful. Even some of your billy buttons.
Yeah, your billy buttons, your blushing
From last week.
from many moons ago.
Yeah, like anything that you've sort of dried, any flowers that you've dried and still have hanging around from previous flower clubs would be perfect to put in.
When you get to the final piece, would you cover like the knot? Does it really matter?
Yeah, I would cover the knot. I mean, you know, it's up to you. You can, well, what we could do after is like attach a ribbon. So when you get to your end piece, what I would do is just sort of lift your first piece just to make way for your last piece and sort of tuck it down underneath and then wrap around. Clever. Same method. And then what you can actually do as well, if there's sections that you feel could use a little more, just do the same thing. Make your little tufts and wire it, and you can just pull back your pieces and just fill it in. And you can also just move your pieces around, sort of fluff it up where you want. And this is probably a good point to have a look see if you want to add something else. From here you could, you know, add your little bits of rosemary if you wanted, or you could add your baubles.
I need to give mine a little trim. It's turning into a gum blob.
So you could use, you know, some billy buttons from last week. You could literally even just cut them and thread them into the actual wreath base.
How cute.
Sort of like so.
Love it.
You know, make it a little feature if you wanted. You know, place it in this way, like so.
Sweet.
You could also, again, wire them and then place them in that way if you want. Same with your straw flowers. You know, you can either cut them and you know, thread them in like so.
Magic.
So we might actually wire these ones. So you can just get a piece of wire. Again, same method, just wrap it around and you can sort of thread it through. So thread it through this. And then you can even just use like a little nodule at the back and sort of wrap it around. Because it's nice and light, the flower heads, it'll sort of sit in there really cute.
Love it.
So that's an option as well. You can wire them into your base, into your wreath.
When in doubt.
Are you ready for a bow?
I'm almost ready for a bow. I just feel like my top is a bit bare. I feel like it just needs a little, or it just needs a haircut.
Either way, so what from here as well, if you decide that, you know, oh, this is looking a little bit wild and woolly, you know, you can trim up.
Oh, my hair's attached to it.
Billy gave you a
Give Penny a
haircut.
haircut.
So you can, you know, oh, this bit, I'm not really loving that shape. So you can sort of trim it if you like. Remember, measure twice, cut once. This gum isn't going to grow back. So don't get too crazy with your trimming. If you want it to be like a real, you know, obvious wreath shape, get trimming, like, you know, trim the center out.
Yeah, mine was looking a little bit oval shaped. All right, so what's next, Steve? Once we've placed our gum.
Next we'll get making some bows. We've given you plenty of ribbon. You can use as little or as much as you like. Given we've given you so much, I would just get ribbon crazy. There's a few methods that you can use to make a bow. I will show you one and then feel free to have a look online. There are a plethora of tutorials on how to make different bows. So if there's one method that you prefer, feel free to use that. But I will show you this method. Okay, so I would be generous with your loops. So hold your ribbon and create the loops. So essentially these parts are going to be your big nice loops hanging out. So if you've used a lot of gum and it's quite wispy and whimsical, make sure you allow enough ribbon in your loops to be able to give you a nice full bow and not be, you know, shoved down right in there. So it's proportionate. So allow yourself a nice amount of ribbon to hang out through your wreath. So you pull it through and clamp it with your fingers nice and tight in the center. Then you actually try and twist so the non-velvety fluffy side is facing upwards, so then you can bring it out and loop it back around. So every time you're making a loop, the velvety part, the nice soft part, is on the outside. So gather in the center, sort of give it a little twist, and again pull out, making sure that your velvety part is facing outwards. From this point, if you want some nice little hangy bits down from the bottom of your wreath, give yourself some nice tails to start off with. So essentially we're starting with the tail, one of the tails first. So give yourself a nice little amount, and then from here pinch this part to make a nice little
looks like a farfalle, like a bow tie.
Oh, a pasta. Yes.
Make a farfalle
with the ribbon, and then pull it out, the bit that's attached to the rest, keeping the nice soft velvety part to the outside. So pull your ribbon out, and then we're essentially making nice big loop. So pull it back into your farfalle. So just pinch it, basically. Just pinch it.
Pinch it together.
So it's making those nice bow-like centers as well. allowing enough ribbon on your loop to be able to hang nicely out of your wreath. And then essentially we're going to continue on the other side, give it a little twist in the center of your farfalle, just so you can work. So your velvety part is on the outside again. From here as well, you can also give it a bit of a measure, pull it back in, just so you're creating nice full loops. Bring it back in and pinch in the center. You can, from here as well, you can do a nice little turn, creating a nice full piece on the other side as well. And you can actually just,
keep going.
Repeat this as many times as you like. It depends on how full you want your bow. It's Christmas, so let's give it a nice big full bow, I reckon. So just keep going. And you've just got to make sure you're holding it and pinching it in the center, holding it all together. So just try not to let go of that center, because that's what's giving you the nice full loop. Okay, so I'm going to do 6 nice full loops. So I've done 8. I've done 8.
Whoa.
So 4 on each side. And then, give yourself a nice amount of tail as well.
Oh, scissors?
The scissors.
Of course.
Thank you. So from here, you've got all your gather in the center. So we're going to, again, get your wire. And I would actually put the center of the wire to the center of your bow and give it you've got 2 nice long pieces, so you're able to thread it in and tie it. So in the center, pull it nice and tight, and then just give it a nice little twist.
And this was the 45 centimeter
piece
of wire.
Nice long piece of wire. Just give yourself enough wire to be able to thread it through. I'm going to put my bow at the bottom to match the nice loop that we've got at the top.
And I might put it at the top just to mix it up.
Yeah, nice. So what you want to do, grab your ribbon, your bow, pull aside your pieces of gum so you can see your base, you can see where you're working. So thread it through. I would probably thread it through the actual wreath base to give it something to hold on to. So pull it nice and tight in there, flip her over, and then you can tie it in nice and tight. And then from here, you can actually just fluff it out, pull your strands down. So you've got some nice little tails. So yeah, you can leave your tails nice and long if you want. You can trim them up, trim them on an angle to give it that nice.
Gorgeous.
There we go. So of course I've added a couple of extra flowers to mine to utilize what your straw flowers or your billy buttons that you got from last week. Penny's gone for a beautiful, nice full wreath with all the gum.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us along this wreath making journey. The great thing about Flower Club is that it's kind of the perfect present for any flower lovers in your life. And if you are stumped for a Christmas present for any flower lovers out there in your family, any of your loved ones, friends, Flower Club is the perfect gift.
Yeah, great little gift idea. A little extra flower knowledge each week and getting some beautiful market flowers delivered to their door. Great gift idea, beautiful subscription. Yeah, lots of fun.
Merry Christmas! Bye!